Hi, I'm Christopher Brent, and I'm a music educator and a recording artist from Troy, Michigan. And today I'm going to talk to you about how you can learn some of the basics in terms of reading music and what this is all about. So, on the board we have 5 lines of the staff, and this is called the treble clef, which basically means that it would refer to the notes that are going to be located on the middle to the high end of a piano. So the high register is mainly what we're dealing with, middle to high register with the treble clef. Now, composers will place the notes either on a line like this, or the notes will be placed in a space between the lines, just like this here. Now, each particular note will be assigned a letter from the musical alphabet. Now, what does the musical alphabet mean? The musical alphabet will actually only consist of 7 letters, in this case the first 7 letters of the English alphabet. Now, obviously we're going to start with A. We work our way up alphabetically, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that would be the last note of the musical alphabet, and then the next step up would start the alphabet over again at A, and keep working our way up in alphabetical order after that. So, here we have these 7 letters to deal with, and each note that you see or you find on the staff is going to be assigned a particular letter. So, for instance, this note right here, this is E, right there, and of course, if you were to see this next note that happens to be a step up from there, that would obviously be F. And so on. This, of course, would be G. And it's as simple as that, and if you get enough practice with this, you'll be able to just memorize where certain notes are at, as well as looking at some things in terms of the steps. If you know this note is F, then of course this note would obviously be G because it's one step away. Now there's a few tricks that we use to help students identify notes, and I'm going to show you those right now. One of the easiest things to look at that will help you identify the notes that are in the spaces in the treble clef is to just simply use the word face, which is spelled F-A-C-E. This particular note happens to be F, the first space note. The second space note up is A. The third is C. And this top space note here happens to be an E. So that works out nicely. Now, what do you do with the notes that are on the lines? How does that work? Well, let's take a look. The notes on the lines, that's a little bit of a different story. They happen to be E, G, B, D, and F, which of course does not spell a word, so we use an acronym and take the first letter of each word. So we say, every good boy does fine. Also, in some circles they will say, every good boy deserves fudge. There's a few different combinations, but the end result here is still going to be the same, which is E, G, B, D, and F. So you can use that as an acronym to help you remember where a certain note is. So if you see this note sitting here by itself and you're not sure what it is, you just go, every good boy does, and that's going to be the D right there. So that's a great way to help you at least get started, and then after a while you'll just be able to memorize it just from so much practice. Now there are a few other basic concepts that you need to know as well, and that is that these 5 main lines don't represent all the notes that you'll see. The notes can go below that, they can also go above that, and you'll see how to read those in the next phase. But for right now, we're going to talk about the notes that dip down below the 5 main lines. And the first note that will kind of dip down below that, in a sense, is going to be D right here, which they will consider this a space note. and a step down from that is going to be middle C right here. And of course they'll consider that a line note. They just put a short line through that, as you can see. I always tell my younger students it kind of looks like a spaceship with that line going right through it. So that note is middle C. Of course this is going to be C, this will be D, and then this note, if you go in alphabetical order, will obviously be E. And then from there you can use your Every Good Boy Does Fine acronym to help you with line notes. So hopefully this gives you at least a basic start in terms of understanding what it's like to read music.